Hare Krishna, welcome to Morning Amrut Vani program. His Grace Kaustubha Krishna Prabhuji will be giving his transcendental words of wisdom. His Grace Ram Kripa Prabhuji will be reading the Namamrita followed by Srila Prabhupada quote. Her Grace Sadhu Sevani Mataji will be reciting the slokas. Welcome to everyone once again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavad Pranam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. His Holiness Bhakti Asraya Vaishnava Swami Maharaj ki Jai. His Grace Shiksha Guru Rup Vilas Prabhu ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrand ki Jai. Namamrita, the nectar of the holy name. By chanting Hare Krishna, one becomes enlightened with spiritual understanding. When you can understand Krishna's and your own position in a nice analytical way, then at once you become free from sinful reactions. This process will help you. Chant Hare Krishna and cleanse your mind, and you will receive the message. One has to be qualified. If you chant and hear for no payment, you will approach God. All things will become clear and illuminated, the path of perfection. Prabhupada quote, 1st July. It is good to be prepared with well-thought lecture in advance. However, we must be able to preach effectively at a moment's notice or under any conditions or circumstances also. As you begin to study the Sanskrit words, in each word you will find a treasure house of different understanding. Letter to Sattva Swarupa, July 1st, 1972. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Bhagavad Gita 10.24. Purodasa cha mukhyam mam vidhi partha brihaspatim senaninam aham skanda sarasam asmi sagara. Translation. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartike. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Hare Krishna. Chapter 10. Dhruv Maharaj's fight with the Yakshas. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.10.1. Maitreya Uvacha Prajapate Duhitaram Shishur Marasya Vaidruva Upayeme Brahmim Nama Tatsutau Kalpa Vatsarau. The great sage Maitreya said, My dear Vidura, thereafter Dhruv Maharaj married the daughter of Prajapati Shishumara, whose name was Brahmi, and two sons named Kalpa and Vatsara were born of her. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela 4.114. सेवा रस तब देखी आनंदित माने उत्तम भोग लागे एथा बुझी अनुमाने. Translation. From the excellence of the arrangements, Madhavendra Puri understood by deduction that only the best food was offered. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari ki jai, Shri Shri Lalita Sakhi Vishakha ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Morning Japa program ki jai, Amrut Vani ki jai, Samasta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. In today's Amrit Vani, it is said that we have to understand the position or the relation between the living entity and the Lord. Now in Bhagavad Gita, Lord has said himself, Mamevansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All these living entities are my part and particles. And therefore, they are also eternal, like Lord is eternal. Only the external bodies which we keep on changing because the soul is permanent. And therefore, we should know that we have some relation with the Lord. But because of coming in contact with the material attachments here, we have forgotten our relation with the God. And we try to find the happiness here in the material things, which is only temporary. And how is the way to go back home to back out God? That is by chanting. By chanting, we can clean our heart, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Cheto Darpan Marjanam. We should clean our heart, which has been covered with the sinful reactions. And by chanting the glories or chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and glorifying the Lord by Sankirtan movement and all that. But then, of course, we have to follow also, as in Krishna consciousness, we should have the chanting offenselessly, and also we should follow 4 regulative principles which are there. By that way, we can slowly and slowly and slowly, and also coming in association with the devotees, pure devotees, and also having the protection under a Guru Maharaj. That is, by taking the initiation under a Guru Maharaj, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Next. Srila Prabhupada, he says, it is good to be prepared with a well thought. So normally the preachers, or even in the school, the teachers, when they have to take a class, they just refer to what subject they have to teach and go through that. But Prabhupada says that is for immature people. One should be so much prepared that at any time, under any circumstances, if one is asked to preach on glorification of the Lord and all that, so we should be able to do that. Now, in all our scriptures, mostly they are in Sanskrit, and the word Sanskrit has so many meanings, and we have to understand, and we have to explain and discuss on each and every word when we do the preaching. And that's why whenever there is any Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad Gita class, the preacher normally, he first goes for the shloka in Sanskrit, and then he reads the meaning of each and every word, and then the translation, like that. So we have to be always ready to preach at any time. Hare Krishna. Next. Now here, when Arjuna asks about from Lord Krishna, when he saw the Vishwaroop, he's asking how to understand you. It's very difficult to understand you. And therefore the Lord is explaining since last 3 shlokas that he is the sun, he is the light in the sun, he is the moon, he is the mountain, and like that. And now he also says that of the priests, I am Brahaspati. But Brahaspati is supposed to be the guru of the Devtas. And from the generals, he says Kartikya, who is the son of Lord Shiva. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. So he is explaining how he can be found everywhere. That's why he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am everywhere and you can find me in everything, Jad or Ajad. Hare Krishna. Next. Here in Srimad Bhagavatam, the story of Dhru Maharaj continues, which is being told by sage Maitreya to Vidura. Vidura, who had not taken part in the Mahabharat war and gone on pilgrimage, so he met there many sages, and he also met Maitreya Muni, who is explaining to him about Srimad Bhagavatam, what he had heard from Sukadevji Goswami Maharaj, which was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. And now he is telling the same thing. And so he says that Dhru Maharaj, when his father, Uttanpad, King Uttanpad, he took sannyas and went to the forest and handed over the kingdom rule to Dhru Maharaj. And Dhru Maharaj slowly he took over the kingdoms, and everybody was happy and all that. Slowly he grew up, and then he got married, and then from the wife he had 2 children, and so the story continues further. Hare Krishna. Next. Madhvendra Puri, when he took the darshan of Gopinath, he was very happy and he was in ecstasy, and he was thinking what type of bhoga must be offered to him. And normally Chappan bhoga is offered, but in this case Gopinath, he was just thinking as to what he must be eating, and it must be the best of the food. Of course, the kheer was offered to Gopinath temple, and which he wanted to test it. And next we will find that how Gopinath, he hides one bucket, one pot of kheer for Madhvendra Puri, who was sitting under a tree, because when he was traveling from Vrindavan going to Puri for getting sandalwood for applying to Gopal deity. But on the way, he had no home. So after taking darshan, he was just sitting under a tree there and praying to Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna